No, así no juego yo al blanco entonces.
This striped shirt man who detonates in the Sinaloa highlands is Juan Jose Ponce Felix, a killer and drug trafficker who bribes politicians and murders to benefit the Sinaloa Cartel. This man, known as El Ruso, is on the list of the most wanted criminals in the United States. The State Department is offering $5 million for information leading to his capture. And yet, while the United States is hunting for his head, he is the very man who is taking control of the Sinaloa Cartel. Juan Jose Ponce Felix, also known as El Ruso, is identified as the boss of Los Rusos, a heavily armed group affiliated with the Sinaloa Cartel. This group emerged as the military operational arm responsible for protecting the cartel faction known as Los Mayos, founded and led by the longtime kingpin Ismael El Mayo Zambada and his son Ismael Zambada Siqueiros, also known as El Mayito Flaco, or simply MF. El Ruso is considered a trusted operator within the Sinaloa Cartel, someone who has earned both respect and fear from his rivals. But that's not all. According to U.S. documents, he is also accused of overseeing the logistical operations behind drug trafficking and other major crimes for the Sinaloa Cartel. They even state that he should be considered armed and dangerous and an escape risk. After the extradition of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman in 2017 and Ismael El Mayo Zambada in 2024, the Sinaloa Cartel suffered a major fracture, and many operators suddenly had to decide which side they would stand with. El Ruso's loyalty has been clear, and it has been reflected in his support for La Mayiza, the faction now led by El Mayito Flaco as his father's successor. The conflict taking place right now hasn't been kept secret. Many media outlets describe it as an open war inside Sinaloa, with factions arming themselves and fighting for territories and routes to gain control of the cartel. And this is where Los Rusos have ended up facing their former allies, the faction known as Los Chapitos, commanded by Ivan Archivaldo and Jesus Alfredo. A key moment in the cartel's fracture was the event known as the Culiacanazo in 2019, when federal forces attempted to capture Ovidio Guzman, one of the former leaders of the Chapitos faction. According to leaked intelligence reports, during Ovidio's capture, several armed commando groups from La Chapiza took to the streets, set up roadblocks, opened fire on federal forces, and surrounded military facilities to prevent the capo from being transferred. Meanwhile, at a moment when the cartel needed to be more united, El Ruso and his people practically did nothing. They sent no reinforcements, they didn't break the siege, and they stayed on the sidelines while Culiacan was burning. That infuriated the Chapitos faction, who accused Los Rusos of deliberately refusing to enter the fight in order to favor Los Mayos. In a business where loyalty is measured by who is willing to die for their boss, that absence felt like a silent betrayal. And it made one thing clear. From that day on, the Sinaloa Cartel was no longer fighting on the same side. Los Rusos now want to destroy their former allies, Los Chapitos, and they have built up almost military-level power to do it. They are using drones to strike their enemies, imitating the vehicles and uniforms of the Army or the Navy, and even cloning the military's armored trucks so they can move around without raising suspicion. This disguise allows them to bypass official checkpoints, gain ground, and spread panic as if they were regular military troops. It also creates constant confusion, since locals often can't tell the difference between an official operation and a narco convoy, giving them the power to do whatever they want when they show up somewhere. El Ruso brings together all the elements of a high-profile cartel boss right now, which is why the United States considers him one of the main criminals inside the Sinaloa Cartel. There is a $5 million reward for information that leads to his arrest. It's well known that this man controls the cartel's most ruthless and violent faction. He is also credited with creating a multi-million-dollar bribery network involving military officers, police, and local authorities, allowing him to gain more territory. Because of all these factors, his arsenal, his military background, his transnational reach, and his violent history, the high reward makes complete sense. But the question remains, why is El Ruso taking over the Sinaloa Cartel? The area of influence and power of Los Rusos is concentrated in Mexicali, a strategic point from where they fight with Los Chapitos for control of the border corridor. From these plazas, they control smuggling routes that allow them to move large quantities of drugs into the United States, and those same routes are used to bring the money back into Mexico, quickly and in cash. If we add the political control they have bought through bribes, their power multiplies. That money can be laundered through legal businesses protected by the state itself, and criminal profits turn into fortunes that appear legitimate. In this way, the group has built enormous power in a very short time. On top of that, the Sinaloa Cartel is fractured and there is no single boss controlling everything anymore. It is well known that Los Chapitos have lost territory, while the Mayiza faction is gaining more and more ground. In the middle of that power vacuum appears El Ruso, a man who has spent many years inside the cartel and who currently has a huge amount of money at his disposal. That money turns into more gunmen, better weapons, drones, vehicles, and the ability to operate almost like an army. An army that spreads fear, wins local wars, and slowly takes over more and more parts of the Sinaloa Cartel. Because of all this, El Ruso is no longer seen as just the head of an armed wing within the Mayiza faction. Many now see him as the natural candidate to fill that power vacuum. In a scenario where the map of the Sinaloa Cartel is constantly shifting and the old balances no longer exist, he is the one with the strength, the money, and the men to keep advancing. That is why some already talk about El Ruso as the man who, little by little, is taking over the Sinaloa Cartel. And this is where the question gets uncomfortable. When a criminal group has territory, money, political connections, and an armed wing that works better than many local police forces, we're no longer just talking about drug trafficking. We're talking about power. Power to decide who rules a region, who gets to work, who lives, and who doesn't. Some fall, others appear, names and nicknames change, but the structures remain. As long as there is money to be made, weapons in circulation, and authorities willing to be bought, there will always be someone ready to take the last one's place. Do you think the state will really be able to wipe out these groups and take back control? Or has the power they've built already grown too big and we'll only keep seeing a new face on the next cartel boss? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching until the end of this video. Don't forget to follow me and leave a like, it's really important to me. On the other hand, if you like underworld images as much as I do and you would like to have one on your wall, visit our website. There you will find more than 150 images personally selected by me. International shipping is free, straight to your door. See you in the next video.